This is the news at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Ayotunde Balogun.
Hello and welcome tonight. Vice President Kashim Shettima to present Nigeria's statement at UNGA 80, highlighting reforms, climate action, multilateralism, and global financial restructuring. President Bola Tinubu confers posthumous national honors on Ogoni 4, backs resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. The Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau releases its findings on the recent Abuja-Kaduna train derailment, blames poor maintenance and a faulty switch track for the incident. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Vladimir Putin will keep driving the Ukraine war wider and deeper unless he is stopped.
And on business, Naira sees slight drop against the dollar following central bank's 0.5% interest rate cuts.
On sports news tonight, Trinidad and Tobago ends U.S. extradition bid for ex-FIFA Vice President Jack Warner.
And from the nation's capital, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajudeen, inaugurates Committee on the implementation of the federal government's Naira for crude oil policy.
As the ongoing 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly enters its second day, Vice President Kashim Shettima is scheduled to deliver Nigeria's national statement at the event. His address is scheduled to take place between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. Nigerian time on September the 25th, with multilateralism, UN reform, climate action, international finance restructuring, amongst others, top on the agenda. Our State House correspondent, Larry Lasisi, who is in New York, has this report.
Our institution is a waste of money, outdated.
It's the opening session of the 80th United Nations General Assembly, with world leaders gathered together once again to consider the state of world affairs and put forward their solutions to the challenges confronting countries.
2 world wars in a generation.
Though scheduled to speak on the second day, Vice President Kashim Shettima joined other world leaders for the session.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, people out there in the world watching us. Clearly, we have to do better. But what we should not let cynics allow to weaponize these failures.
Afterwards, the Vice President met with the President of Namibia, Nandi Ndaitwah, on the sidelines. Both leaders committed to deeper bilateral ties, with the Namibian leader praising Nigerian diplomats for their invaluable contributions to her government and country. In a separate high-level session, Vice President Shettima met with a delegation from the Gates Foundation, led by its CEO, Mark Sussman. He thanked the foundation for its support in healthcare, agriculture, and financial inclusion, while calling for expanded investment in Nigeria.
We have no option than to go. And now our foreign reserves has hit $42 billion. It's still little for a nation of Nigerians. But it's still better than why we made it. I can assure you that President Tinubu, you have a partner that you can trust.
The Minister of Education also appealed for greater support in education.
The initial focus over the years had been on health and other parts, nutrition, but not in education. But now, I think there's more focus now in education, so we're seeking for more support in that area in the country, so to support our foundational education level.
Engagements also continued into the night as members of the Nigerian delegation considered the successes of attracting investment to the country.
Government is being run like an enterprise this time around. It's giving opportunities to subnationals to come out, discuss who investors back to Nigeria. We've seen a lot of those initiatives in my state, most especially. I've been able to attract investment in agriculture.
And what we're doing is celebrating those investments and wanting to encourage other investors to come in and invest in Nigeria. The federal government has made policy changes that's opening up the space, that's making it more attractive for businesses to come in. So what we want to do is showcase what we are doing and that of our partners as well, and encourage other investors to come invest in Nigeria and come invest in Africa.
I mean, the other governors are here. They are looking at areas where they have competitive and comparative advantage over others. So they can now come together as a team and as a group. And that's what the Governors Forum is all about, and they are part of this forum. So that they can now look at areas where they can let people to come and invest.
The attention of everyone will, however, be on the National Statement of Nigeria, which will be delivered in the second session of Wednesday, as Vice President Shettima is set to address the General Assembly. From New York, Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Powered by a solar-powered battery swap station.
And we'll have more from the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. But back home, President Bola Tinubu has directed the National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, to immediately commence engagement between the Ogoni people, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, its partners and relevant stakeholders to finalize modalities for the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. The president gave the directive when he received the report of the Ogoni Consultation Committee at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. President Tinubu also conferred posthumous national honors of the Commander of the Order of the Niger on 4 former Ogoni leaders. Our State House correspondent, Emperor Simon, reports.
About 8 months after he set up the Ogoni Consultation Committee, President Bola Tinubu is here to receive report of the committee. The National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, presents the report, highlighting major findings of the committee.
While not forgetting past injustices, have reached a point of collective readiness to see the responsible resumption of oil production in Ogoni land, anchored on fairness, equity, environmental responsibility, and direct community benefit. Secondly, the Ogoni people are not merely asking for tourism, but for structured participation. Given the convergence of environmental remediation and renewed operations, the report strongly recommends the repositioning of high-prep in a manner that synchronizes with the dialogue process.
The chairman of the committee says the report reflects the collective will of the people of Ogoni land.
What are the key findings of our consultation? The consultation revealed an unmistakable, overwhelming consensus of our people's readiness for resumption of responsible oil production in Ogoni.
Governor Simina Lai Fubara of Rivers State commends President Tinubu's commitment towards remediation of the Ogoni land.
There is every sign that this government is serious about resolving these issues. And I think we need to give them all the necessary opportunity and time to ensure that this problem is resolved once and for all.
The report is then handed to the president. In his remarks, President Tinubu notes the importance of peace in Ogoni land for development to take place, as it directs more engagements to fast-track resumption of oil drilling, which was altered in the area in 1993.
I'm directing the National Security Advisor to commence immediately engagement between the Ogoni people and NNPCL. It is joint venture partners and all relevant stakeholders with a view to finalizing modalities to begin operation. To align the environmental remediation with renewed oil production, the composition remediation PREP must ensure effective and efficient functionality as an instrument of action. I therefore direct the Honorable Minister of Environment to work with the National Security Advisor and myself to fully integrate programs into broader dialogue and implementation process.
The president also confers posthumous national honors of Commander of the Order of Niger on some former Ogoni leaders.
Chief Edward Kobani, CON, posthumous. Chief Albert Brady, CON, posthumous. Chief Samuel Orage, CON, posthumous. Chief Theophilus Orage, CON, posthumous.
The implementation of the recommendations contained in the report, stakeholders believe, will promote development in Ogoni land, even as President Bola Tinubu has continued to assure of his administration's commitment to promoting an inclusive governance in the country. From the presidential villa, Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
Governor Diko Rada has been explaining the recent peace talks with some bandit leaders in Katsina state. According to the governor, bandit leaders initiated the move for peace with the state government, and he is making efforts to ensure that the peace deal works. This formed part of discussions at a high-level security meeting held at Government House in the state capital.
This high-level consultative meeting is convened by Governor Diko Rada of Katsina State to deliberate on issues around security, governance, and development.
Thank you very much.
Attending the meeting are royal fathers, religious leaders, former service chiefs, and other prominent sons and daughters of Katsina from home and diaspora. The governor sets the tone for today's deliberations, explaining his position on the peace deal with repentant bandits.
I have been saying in various fora that I will never reach out to bandits for peace deal at the point of weakness as enshrined in the Islamic rights. That's why we intensified our efforts in the fight against banditry. To God be the glory. If you can check out my previous speeches, I proclaim that if any bandit reaches out to us seeking for peace, we will accept the offer. And this is what is currently happening in Katsina State. We have never requested for peace dialogue with any bandits. Rather, the bandits have been seeking for the peace deal because bandits, mostly led by Babaru Kingpin, have been so anxious for peace, and soldiers, on the other hand, disagreed, saying that they must kill him. The army have been searching for Babaru for almost 8 days now, and I personally called the brigade commander to please sheath his sword so that we can sit with the repentant bandits. However, they refused to listen to my plea, stating that they have directives and that the president will not take any excuses from them. So this is the situation on ground. But from the look of things, we'll have a peace deal with bandits across the states, though it's still remaining Kankara, Faskari, Sabua, and some parts of the Katsina local government area.
Sampling the Jibia.
I will start the sampling with Jibia local government area. God so kind, we have secured partnership from the UNDP. We are in the process to launch the 152 IDP homes in Jiba, LG for displaced families. Already, repentant bandit Kingpin Lanka has approached us for peace deal. He is demanding that we should rehabilitate their schools, grazing reserve hospital and road, and to support the youth who have laid down their arms with business support packages. I'm looking into their demands, and I have set up a committee to cover all the LGs where we are discussing peace deal. This to give them confidence that we keep our words.
The deputy governor also disclosed plans of the government to create employment opportunities, engage community watch corps, vigilantes, hunters, and religious leaders to drive peace-building initiatives.
Part of the deliberate effort of the government to address the issue of insecurity was to provide jobs. Within the period under review, 35,903 jobs were created by this administration within our first 1 year in office. We have also engaged ward, local government, and state security groups. Under this arrangement, we have enrolled 10,665 individuals.
The meeting with stakeholders is pledging to support the peace efforts of the state government.
In part two, after the break, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau releases its findings on the recent Abuja-Kaduna train derailment, blames poor maintenance and a faulty track for the incident. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima to present Nigeria's statement at UNGA 80, highlighting reforms, climate action, multilateralism, and global financial restructuring. President Bola Tinubu confers posthumous national honors on Ogoni 4, backs resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau releases its findings on the recent Abuja-Kaduna train derailment, blames poor maintenance and a faulty switch track for the incident. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Vladimir Putin will keep driving the Ukraine war wider and deeper unless he is stopped. Now there's more on the ongoing 80th United Nations General Assembly as the Minister for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokwobiri, says the reforms carried out in the petroleum sector has made it competitive and attractive to investors. The minister was speaking on the sidelines of UNGA 80 at the US-Nigeria Council meeting on possible collaborations in the energy and minerals sector. The minister told the gathering there are new opportunities for new investors as well.
You recall that before President Tinubu came into power, we had no investment for 10 years. But right now we have investments coming into Nigeria in billions of dollars. Today, we have the opportunity to also sell to the US. Then look, we need to strengthen our collaboration with between Nigeria and the US. We've had a very strong collaboration between US companies and then Nigeria for over 50 years. ExxonMobil, Chevron have been there for over 50, 60 years. And today, I think that we have opportunity to also, tell them that, look, beyond those existing relationships, there are new opportunities for newcomers to also come and invest. Today, we have opportunities in upstream, because without upstream, success, midstream and downstream will also be a mirage. So we have opportunities in the upstream, be it on the provisions of the PIAs. Several oil blocks that were not explored have automatically fallen into the basket, so they are available for grabs. That Mr. President Bola Tinubu, was a businessman, so when he came into government, he created an atmosphere that is globally competitive. Anybody who wants to invest in Nigeria is welcome. You can bring in your money at will and also divest at will.
Back in Nigeria, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau has said that its investigation into the recent Abuja-Kaduna train derailment at Asham Station has revealed that poor maintenance and a faulty track switch were key factors behind the incident. According to the preliminary findings, several sleepers at the station that had been damaged in a previous incident were only patched instead of being properly repaired. Investigators also found that the automatic switch mechanism at the station's crossing point was unserviceable at the time of the derailment, which is the second to occur at the same station within 13 months. As a result, the switch had to be manually operated and secured using a point clip, which was later discovered to be broken. This compromised the integrity of the track alignment, leading to the derailment. The report also noted that personnel of the Nigerian Railway Corporation had received only initial training with no formal refresher courses, raising further concerns about the safety standards and preparedness. So now let's head to the nation's capital, where Terry Ikumi is standing by to give us the latest from our Abuja studios. Over to you, Terry.
Well, thank you very much, Ayo. Now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, is assuring Nigerians that implementation of the federal government's Naira for crude oil policy will be transparent through effective oversight by the House. He made the comment through the minority leader of the House, Kingsley Chinda, at the inauguration of the ad hoc committee on the implementation and oversight of the Naira for crude oil policy, while describing it as a crucial step towards strengthening transparency and efficiency in one of Nigeria's most important energy sector initiatives.
The Naira for crude oil policy carries significant implications for Nigerians' foreign exchange stability, revenue generation, and long-term energy security. A thorough examination of its framework will enable the committee to determine whether the policy is achieving its intended objectives, identify any gaps in its implementation, and highlight areas where adjustments may be required. Such an assignment will provide the House with clear guidance in exercising its legislative oversight and in ensuring that the policy contributes meaningfully to national development.
National telecoms carrier Globacom has unveiled the Talkmaster Tariff Plan and Welcome Bonus, two customer-friendly initiatives designed to deliver more value to subscribers and strengthen its position as Nigeria's most rewarding network. For the Talkmaster Tariff Plan, customers who make 6 minutes of local calls to any network will automatically receive 6 additional free minutes, which can be used to call any other local network, and free 50 MB of data. And for the Welcome Bonus Plan, new subscribers who register a Glow SIM, recharge with a minimum of 100 Naira, and make their first call will instantly receive a one-time welcome airtime and data package worth as much as 2,000 Naira.
So the customer gets...
With a commitment to making sure the communication between its customers and their loved ones, as well as business partners, is unbroken, telecom company Globacom is unveiling two customer-friendly initiatives: the Talkmaster Tariff Plan and Welcome Bonus, designed to deliver more value to subscribers and strengthening its position as Nigeria's most rewarding network. At the event featuring staff of Globacom and the media, Globacom management rolls out a summary of what the products offer.
Every 6 minutes that the customer uses in a day, he gets additional 6 minutes completely free. And on top of that, you also get 50 MB of data bonus. Earlier, if you're looking at, we were used to giving 1,000 Naira for every new customer who's coming to the network. We have doubled the value. From 1,000 Naira, we have doubled the value to 2,000 Naira welcome bonus. So what does the customer get? Instead of 1,000 Naira, he gets 2,000 Naira welcome bonus. And what does 2,000 Naira offer to a customer? He gets 25 minutes free and 1 GB of data free.
What's new? It's the enhanced nature of the offering that keeps subscribers connected to their people.
So Glow has always stood for value for money, and we hope that this will ensure that the customers are connected and their communication costs also come down drastically.
So new customers out there, will get, those who are not on Glow should get a Glow line, and automatically they will enjoy this offer. For existing customers, they just need to dial *606# and they'll be on this new product that we'll call Talkmaster 646. There's no duration. This offer is here to stay.
Ensuring unlimited and uninterrupted access to communications for its subscribers since its establishment in 2003, these packages are reinforcing Globacom's commitment to affordable and reliable services that keep Nigerians connected to the people that matter the most. To enjoy the Talkmaster Tariff Plan, Glow subscribers are expected to dial *606#, while for the Welcome Bonus, all you need to do is buy a Glow SIM and be a subscriber.
Now, a major boost has come the way of inmates at the Okere Correctional Center in Warri, Delta State, as Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited constructed and commissioned a state-of-the-art university studies center. The project, hailed as a symbol of hope and second chances, is the latest in a company's series of community development initiatives.
Over the years, Tantita has demonstrated a strong commitment to corporate social responsibility with projects that have touched lives within and beyond Delta State. These include the construction of a JAMB ICT center in the Riverine area, the NUJ Warri Secretariat, and a new police station at Ogbore Koko, among others. This two-story educational facility, built to help rehabilitate and reintegrate inmates at the Okere Correctional Center, is the latest addition to its many CSR projects. At the official inauguration ceremony attended by various dignitaries, Tantita's Managing Director, Kestin Pundi, says the project is more than a corporate social responsibility. It is a moral duty to give hope to the forgotten and help inmates restart their educational journeys.
This modern building, comprising 8 fully furnished classrooms, an administrative office, water system, toilets, a borehole, supply system, and a solar powered inverter system, represent more than an investment in bricks and mortar. It represents opportunity. It represents hope. It represents the belief that every person, regardless of their past conduct, can be transformed through education.
Speaking on behalf of the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Correctional Services, the Assistant Comptroller of Prisons, Kingsley Ujoku, appreciates Tantita for the investment in human capital development.
The CEO of Tantita and the managing directors around here, you have done very well. We are just doing this, and this is just little you have seen from what they are doing in correctional service in Delta State. And I know with this, more is coming on our way.
Equally impressed by the initiative, Governor Sheriff Ogbore Warri, represented by the Commissioner for Higher Education, says the project aligns with the government's MORE agenda and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
This project is not just a building, it is a beacon of hope, a testament to second chances, and a tangible contribution to the rehabilitation and reintegration of fellow citizens.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
A formal inauguration follows, after which guests are taken on a tour of the facility. The event climaxes with awards presented to the Chairman, Tantita Securities Government Ekpemopolo, its Managing Director, Kestin Pundi, and the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Ogbore Warri, for their contributions to peace and security in the state.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Naira sees slight drop against the dollar following central bank's interest rate cut. That's on Business News. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC says it is committed to supporting and working with partners on initiatives and application of AI that will guarantee the protection of the climate. The acting chief executive of the bank stated this at the Financial Powerhouse as it hosts its 2025 Sustainable Finance Summit 2.0 held at the Civic Centre in Victoria Island, Lagos.
Know where the problems are.
Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, in partnership with Lagos Business School Sustainability Centre, is hosting this year's Sustainable Finance Summit, bringing together leaders and stakeholders across the financial services sector.
Over to you, sir. Yeah.
Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Bank, Mr. Wale Adeniyi, in his welcome remarks, assures that the summit is designed to move beyond conversations and deliver actionable strategies.
For us, climate finance isn't just about problem solving for the world. It's about fueling inclusive growth, enabling energy access, and driving industrialization right here at home.
The keynote address, delivered by digital solutions expert Segun Ajayi, highlights the role of artificial intelligence in building a climate-resilient economy.
By
providing sustainable finance, we will turn from being a continent where people run away from to where investors can come and change the climatic change, change the economic status of Africa.
Deputy Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Bank, Bumi Dayo Olagunju, emphasizes how digitalization is strengthening the bank's climate risk management.
Action needs to accelerate on our tackling of climate change. These are risks that are now very real. We meet with it every day, we deal with it every day, and we must take action.
Panelist.
Acting Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, Mr. Kunle Adedeji, expresses gratitude to partners and participants, stressing the practical application of AI in driving climate action.
Digital innovation and AI are not abstract concepts for the future. They are the tools we need right now to de-risk investments, scale up practical solutions, and ensuring transparency in deployment of capital. At Stanbic IBTC, our commitment to this agenda is unwavering.
Head of Sustainability Risk and Capital Management, Osinleye Odeyemi, also contributes to discussions on embedding sustainability in finance.
Financial institutions are key in ensuring that when they generate capital, they direct the capital towards projects that help community resilience.
The one-day summit features expert contributions and forge partnerships that will shape the future of sustainable finance across Africa.
The Advisory Board of the Nigeria Prize for Science has announced that there is no winner for the 2025 edition of the prestigious NLNG-sponsored Nigeria Prize for Science, following the judges' dissatisfaction with the overall quality of entries received this year. Speaking today at a forum in Lagos, the chairman of the advisory board, Professor Bart Naji, explained that after a rigorous adjudication of the 112 entries submitted this year, none was found suitable for the prize.
Is NLNG keeping it back?
Anticipation is always rife by this time of the year when NLNG inspired the Nigeria Prize for Science winner is announced.
Innovation, impact.
For the year 2025, the advisory board chairman, Professor Bart Naji, will bring us the brief for this year's entry based on the theme Innovations in ICT, Artificial Intelligence and Digital Technologies for Development.
The prize, awarded annually, is designed to stimulate the growth and the practical application of science and technology. Its goal is to address issues critical to our nation's development and to improve the standard of living for all Nigerians.
112 entries were received. Of that number, 54 was found valid and progressed for adjudication. Then the judges conducted independent reviews, shortlisted 10, from which 4 top entries were ratified by the advisory board for further evaluation with a view to choosing a winner.
Judges conducted independent reviews.
And now to the verdict. Who is this year's Nigeria LNG prestigious Nigeria Prize for Science winner?
Some entries did not fully address all 3 thematic areas. 1, the practicality of the innovations in solving scenario-specific problems. 2, lack of clarity on the operability of the innovations. And 3, no evidence of robust field testing of the innovations. In view of these gaps, the advisory board, in agreement with the judges, reached a verdict of no winner for 2025 cycle.
The silence in the room is understandable, but there's an upside to the board and judges' decision.
Clearly, the upside was that for us, was that this prize continues to have a strong pedigree, quite aside from the prize money size. Just the fact that we know that whatever outcome each and every year, it will stand the scrutiny of the scientific community anywhere in the world.
Excellence is not always easy to achieve. And sometimes
demands difficult choices to ensure that the prize remains a beacon that inspires future generations of Nigerian scientists to reach higher, dig deeper, and dream bigger.
What's more, the prestigious Prize for Science will continue to support groundbreaking works that have Nigerian unique realities.
Right, let's now join Will Ibong for more business news. Will.
Thank you. Today we continue with monetary policy, where the central bank's decision to cut interest rates by 50 basis points marks a shift from years of tight policy to a growth-focused stance. Now, the move is meant to ease borrowing costs and support recovery, but the naira dipped slightly against the dollar today, trading at 1,488 naira 56 kobo. Meanwhile, the central bank's director of monetary policy, Dr. Victor Obo, says the naira will remain stable in the near term, easing fears of fresh currency depreciation.
Now, the premium between the BDC and the official NFM is almost zero. It's very low too, which tells you that this stability in the exchange rate market, window is sustainable. Much to that is the robust external reserve position that we have that is able to be able to defend in case of any shock. So all this provide the comfort that the slight increase in NPR is not likely to see or lead to any depreciation in the value of the local currency, the naira.
We move to the energy space, where the federal government has stopped Total Energies from selling its 10% stake in the Shell Petroleum Development Company joint venture to Mauritius-based Chapel Energies. The $860 million deal announced last year secured ministerial consent but failed to meet strict financial conditions. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission and UPLC says both parties missed deadlines to pay fees and cover environmental obligations. Industry sources add that Chapel could not raise the $860 million needed to close the deal. The collapse leaves Total Energies stuck with onshore assets tied to aging fields, spills, and costly repairs, frustrating its bid to shed high-cost operations and cut its $26 million debt. Now, the National Pension Commission has issued new rules on foreign currency pension contributions, directing pension fund administrators and custodians to report any payment above $10,000 to the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit within 24 hours. The guidelines, issued in September, allow Nigerians abroad and residents earning in dollars to join the contributory pension scheme. Now, under the new guidelines, all payments must be made in US dollars, with funds pooled into a special dollar account and invested mainly in safe foreign assets. And PENCOM says the new measures will block money laundering, align Nigeria's pension sector with global compliance standards, and give contributors abroad a safe way to save for retirement in hard currency. Now, President Bola Tinubu has met with the chairman of BUA Group, Mr. Abdul Samad Rabiu, at the presidential villa Abuja as part of the stakeholders' engagements towards ensuring price stability in the country. And during the meeting, Mr. Rabiu assures of his organization's readiness to support the federal government's economic drive. He commended President Tinubu for the duty waiver granted in 2024 for some food commodities, which he notes are positive measures that will reduce cost of food in the country. Speaking to State House correspondents shortly after the meeting, Mr. Rabiu highlights some of the interventions already made by BUA Group in supporting the government.
The exchange rate is going to strengthen even further. I expect that the rate should come down to maybe 1,300 to 1,400 naira before the end of the year. And this is something that, we should all celebrate. The reliance or, need for foreign exchange from the central bank has virtually disappeared. So, and of course, we also know that, companies and businesses alike are able to get FX abroad using their ATM and credit cards. These are all positives. If you look at the prices of food items last year and what we have today, you see that there is a significant reduction in all the commodities, prices of food items. So I think we just need to be a bit more patient. Clearly things are getting better, and we must continue to support the government.
Speaking of stability, we hope that's the same for the equities market, which continued its losing streak for a third straight day on sell-offs in MTN Nigeria. John Mekwa has the details.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stock market report. Well, Dangote Sugar has handed over to MTN Nigeria. So today, MTN Nigeria is the market mover. It lost 20 naira 90 kobo. That's a huge one. And so it closed at 414 naira 10 kobo. And of course, that has dragged the market or kept the market in the red zone. But we see recoveries today. That's hopeful. For banking, we see away from what it was yesterday. It's 1.29% in the green. Access Co, First Hold Co, GT Co, UBA, the big guys, the Fugas, they did that. Consumer goods is also green today because of Dangote Sugar. You see some smart investors took advantage of the drop in price yesterday, and so we see Dangote Sugar today, it's gained at 5 naira 40 kobo. Oil and gas is retaining the red color because of O&O and Japan Gold. At the close of trade today, there was a 135 billion naira shaved off the market cap, but we're still at 89 trillion naira level, and the oil share is in the red 0.15%. So a second day this week that we see the market in the red to the victory of the bear.
Thank you, Ini. Let's hope the bear passes the baton to the bull. Let's see the snapshot of closing numbers for other major global equities now. And that's business. It's back to Ayotune for the rest of the news at 10.
Thank you, Will. Russian President Vladimir Putin will keep driving the war forward wider and deeper if he is not stopped. Ukraine's President Zelensky has warned. Now, speaking at the UN General Assembly in New York, President Zelensky said more countries will be met with Russian aggression unless allies display a united front and ramped up support. Here's Simon Piers with more international news and around the world in 5 from our London studio.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
If a nation wants peace, it still has to work on weapons. It's sick. But that's the reality.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Vladimir Putin will keep driving the Ukraine war wider and deeper unless he is stopped. Addressing the UN General Assembly, he called for countries to work together as peace depends on all of us. Mr. Zelensky was speaking after US President Donald Trump shifted his position on the war, saying for the first time that Ukraine could win all of its land back.
Russia's war has put us in this situation, but do you have protection against similar threats? The facts are simple. Stopping this war now, and with it, the global arms race, is cheaper than building underground kindergartens or massive bunkers for critical infrastructure later. Stopping Putin now is cheaper than trying to protect every port and every ship from terrorists with sea drones.
The Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says there are multiple injuries and fatalities after a shooting at an immigration facility in Texas. The attack happened at a Dallas field office for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The shooter has died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Doctors at one of Gaza City's last functioning hospitals say they are overwhelmed with casualties from Israeli strikes and are having to carry out operations in filthy conditions. Israeli forces are now just 500 meters away from the hospital as they expand their ground offensive to fully occupy Gaza City, which Israel's military calls Hamas's main stronghold. The IDF says it is carrying out the offensive in Gaza City to defeat Hamas and secure the release of the hostages still held by the group after 23 months of war. Typhoon Ragasa has made landfall in southern China, where nearly 2 million people have been evacuated in preparation for its arrival. It comes after authorities said at least 17 people had been killed and more missing in Taiwan after a lake burst on Tuesday, causing severe flooding in the island's east. Here, floodwaters destroying a bridge as the typhoon hit. And here, footage posted on social media showing the moment a surge of water shattered the glass doors of a luxury hotel in Hong Kong. One person was swept off their feet as water flooded the hotel. Fullerton Ocean Park Hotel confirmed in a statement there were no injuries. Ragasa has been downgraded in strength but remains highly destructive, with top winds of 150 miles per hour recorded in Taishan County in China's southeastern Guangdong province.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel has criticized anti-American threats to free speech during an emotional return to his late-night U.S. television show, following a brief suspension after his comments about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Through tears, the comedian said that it was never his intention to make light of the murder of a young man. Mr. Kimmel accused the head of the organization that regulates American TV of mob tactics and poked fun at President Donald Trump's appearance at the UN.
I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
Well, if that doesn't get him the Nobel Prize, I don't know what will.
Mr. Trump, who had welcomed the comedian's suspension, was critical of the reinstatement, writing, "I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back." And this is the moment a giant sinkhole opened up on a busy Bangkok road in front of a hospital and police station. Cars were left teetering on the edge of the crater in a residential area of Thailand's capital. The hole, roughly 50 meters wide, pulled down power lines and exposed a burst pipe gushing water. The collapse was likely linked to recent heavy rains and a leaking pipe. Thai authorities have confirmed there were no injuries.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. In the English League Cup, Phil Foden scored 1 and provided an assist as Manchester City battled past League One Huddersfield Town to reach the 4th round. Elsewhere, Joelinton and William Osula both scored twice as holders Newcastle United started their defence of the Carabao Cup with a comfortable win against Bradford City. Tottenham continued their strong start to life under Thomas Frank and sealed the spot in the 4th round with a 3-0 victory over Doncaster. Eberechi scored his first goal for Arsenal as the Gunners won League One side Port Vale 2-0 to reach the Carabao Cup 4th round. After a 10-year-long saga, Trinidad and Tobago will not extradite former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner to the United States. A High Court judge in Trinidad found that the extradition agreement between the two countries was flawed. Warner had been charged with corruption in the United States and banned for life by FIFA over a 2015 corruption scandal that engulfed world football's governing body and led to FBI arrest and the prosecution of several top officials. And Barcelona coach Hansi Flick believes star forward Lamine Yamal will be driven to greater height after being beaten to the Ballon d'Or by Ousmane Dembele. The 18-year-old winger finished second behind PSG attacker Dembele at the glitzy gala in Paris on Monday in the battle to be crowned the world's best player, but won the Copa Trophy for best young player. Yamal starred as Flick's Barcelona won a domestic treble of La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Spanish Super Cup.
Thank you, Chris. And the main news again. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima set to present Nigeria's statement at the ongoing 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, highlighting reforms, climate action, multilateralism, and global financial restructuring. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde Balogun, and you have a good night.